Space 101.1 FM, KMGP, welcomes you to Broken, Alaska, the world's only improvised radio drama series. The locals of Broken, Alaska have to deal with a lot of wildlife. It's Alaska, after all, so elk, bear, deer, and even wolves have been known to saunter through town. But what about the more mysterious creatures of the world? The dark creatures. What happens if something shows up in Broken that no one can handle? Let's find out.
Okay now. All right, yep. Thank you guys. Goodbye now.
It smells like fish.
Okay, you're going down this gangplank now. Have a good day on your tour of this lovely little town.
Is there anything
Be careful. You're going to find so many fun things to do in Broken. You have such a nice little town. There's birds caricatures. There's all these outdoor adventures. Be careful on the dock there. Watch your feet. Big boxes of cargo at the bottom of the gangplank.
Clear this stuff out.
You'll be happy about those cargo boxes, Missy. That's what keeps the Queen of the Gulls cruise ship down at this nice low price for you.
Yeah, low.
Hey, okay, go on now. Go on. Okay, get off the boat now. Go on.
Excuse me, Julie?
Oh, yes, dear.
I believe I just saw a dog running off the ship.
No, there's no dogs on the boat, honey. You must have seen something else.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw a dog.
Well, I certainly wouldn't bring a dog to Broken. But I can check, I guess. I have a list of the passengers right here in my hand. I'm sure there's no dog listed. No, there's nothing here. Are you sure it was a dog?
I'm positive. I've seen a dog before. It was cute. It had one of those smashed faces and it scampered off. I've always wanted a dog. I'd just love to find him.
Are you one of my passengers?
Actually, I came up a couple weeks ago, but I decided to stay here in Broken.
You decided to stay? Well, why the heck could you want to do something like that?
Well...
You know what? Never mind. I don't really care. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll keep a lookout for any weird little dogs while we're docked here. He sure sounds adorable with that ugly little smashed face and all. Okay, sweetie, come on. Get off the boat now. If I find your little dog, I'll make sure I'm home for you. Probably have a box around here someplace.
Oh, will you? Oh, thank you so much. If I find him, I'm going to adopt him and call him Pugsy. Oh, I just always
yeah.
love
That
dogs.
sounds real nice, sweetie. Okay, that's good. Be careful on those big boxes of cargo down on the dock now. Go on, get going.
Come here, boy. Or girl.
Hey, you looking for something, lady?
Oh, hello. Yes, actually, I'm looking for a little dog I saw run off the Queen of the Gulls. I'm going to rescue him, and I love him, and I'm going to name him Pugsy.
Oh, really? That's weird. It ran off the ship?
Yes. Why doesn't anybody believe me?
It's not that I don't believe you. It just seems weird because I've been in this town about 6 months, and I never seen a dog in Broken. Hey, wait a sec. You're that new girl in town, right?
Yes. My name's Denise.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Joey Maglione. Been out of town the last couple weeks. Wait, you've been staying in one of Mark's rooms above the Twisted Dinghy, right?
Yes, for now. But once Rose gets her tiny house built, I'm going to live in one of those. Here, Pup. Here, Pugsy. I really hope I could find that dog.
Well, I'm headed up to Brick's office for one of my jobs, but, I work for the Broken Bugle.
Do you? Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
Is that the sheet of paper I see tacked up on Felch's grocery store once a week?
that's right. It's just a little newspaper, but it's a start of something much bigger.
Oh, I didn't realize an 8x10 sheet of paper could be considered a newspaper.
Well, it's a paper, and it has news on it. So yeah, hey, why don't you describe that dog to me, and maybe I can do a little write-up, like the headline could read, Missing Dog, or something.
Oh, would you? That would be brilliant. Well, I only caught a glimpse of him, but he's very small and about the size of a loaf of bread.
Wait, hold on, let me write that down.
He was brownish tan, he had a small little smashed face, and he looked as if he was full of purpose. Like he really wanted to do something very, very important.
Yeah, right, okay. Got it. Anything else?
I'm afraid I only saw him for a moment.
No, don't worry about it. This is good stuff. I'll write something up today and get it out in tomorrow's newspaper. Hey, I got an idea. Maybe I should do a special extra edition today. What do you think?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think I might do that. Well, you know what? I gotta go get to Brick's office. I can pick up a ream of office paper from his supply room anyway, so this will work out great. And if anyone sees that dog, I'll tell them to contact you immediately, okay?
Oh, that would be so helpful. Thank you.
Well, it was nice to officially meet you, Denise, and I'll let you know as soon as we find that dog.
Joey works feverishly to get the extra edition of the Broken Bugle tacked up in the grocery store by that afternoon, and even staples copies to a dozen trees lining Main Street. But the mysterious missing dog remains elusive. Poor Denise is still searching for any sign of him later that evening.
Here, pup. Here, boy.
Hello, Miss Denise.
Hello, Bert.
It's getting so foggy this evening. I heard you calling before I actually saw you. Are you still searching for that dog?
Yes, and I haven't found any clues at all. I've been searching all day.
To be honest, I'm not convinced that it was a dog at all, I'm afraid. If I remember my local history, there hasn't been a dog in town since 1904, and I don't know that the cruise ship allows dogs on board anyway.
No, I'm sure it was a dog.
Now, wait a tick. Here comes Bill Scrapper. He's one of the dock workers that helps load and unload the cargo. Evening, Bill.
Yeah, hey, Bert. Ma'am?
Hello?
This is Denise. She's new and broken, but she's been searching all day for a dog that she swears ran off the Queen of the Gulls this morning. You haven't seen anything like that, have you, Bill?
Dog. Like, one of those little ones. The smashed face, ugly-looking thing, had a mean glint in his eye.
That's him! That's Pugsy!
Nah, I ain't seen nothing like that. And it's a good thing, too. That'd be just the icing on the cake if there was some weird little dog coming off this boat.
What do you mean by that?
Well, just mumbling I've been hearing from the ship's crew. They were saying they heard strange, mournful sounds coming from the holds a whole trip. And at the restaurants on board all reported food missing. And then, one night, one of the Boilermakers found a top covered with hair in the engine room. They thought it was animal, but they said it didn't look like any animal hair they'd ever seen.
How odd.
I ain't one to talk about such stuff, but I've been working this cargo all day. Loading and unloading. And there's just something not quite right about this stuff.
Now that you mention it, I noticed there were a lot of boxes with labels from the nation of Wales. That's rather odd, isn't it? Why would a bunch of Welsh cargo be making its way up to Broken?
That's right, it's Welsh all right. And you know what they say about Welsh cargo.
Oh, I remember. My days as a copper in London taught me to keep my eyes open when Welsh cargo was around.
Oh dear, you don't mean...
Yes, I'm afraid I do. There's been an uptick in rabbit cheese smuggling from Wales recently. That's right, cheese made using the milk from rabbits.
The poor innocent fluffy creatures.
Oh my goodness.
Look, Bill, you're a seaman. What do your instincts tell you? Do you smell something in the air?
Well, you know that old saying, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning?
Yes?
Well, it's so dark and foggy right now, I can't even see what color the sky is.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
I got that kind of feeling, the tattoo on my arm, the hair on her arm, it's starting to itch.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Good evening.
Hello.
Oh, Rose, it's good to see you.
Ma'am?
I just came down because I ordered a whole bunch of produce and I thought it came in today. There should be a whole bunch of boxes of broccoli and asparagus.
Yeah, it's over there. It's no problem. I'll be happy to help you haul some boxes up to the produce stand.
Oh, thanks. I brought this dolly along. We could just load a bunch of boxes onto it.
Yeah, be careful with them boxes, though. There's strange stuff going on.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, we don't know exactly, but apparently there have been some mysterious things going on the cruise ship.
Well, I'm just here for my asparagus, so I don't think that's anything I need to worry about.
Well, let me tell you a story, Rose. It's about a beast called the Alplukra.
Alplukra?
Yes, it's a Celtic myth about a creature, a terrible creature that crawls into your mouth, goes down your throat, and eats your dinner.
Wait, it eats your dinner? I know plenty of people in Hollywood that love that.
Oh, it's serious. The only way to get rid of it is to eat very salty meat.
Meat?
Yes, you see, when you eat the very salty meat, the Alplukra has to come out of your throat and get a drink. It's like an evil tapeworm.
Well, Bert, I'm pretty sure that creature isn't stowed away someplace on the Queen of the Gulls. And look, I'm not really worried about my produce boxes. It's getting really foggy. I think we should probably get these up to the produce stand. Billy, give me a hand.
Yeah, no worries.
I think you're right. Perhaps we should make haste. Look, Denise, I don't want to scare you, but I'm starting to think that something's not right on the docks tonight. There seems to be something dangerous.
Yeah, I've been working these docks 25 years now. Definitely feels like a good night to be any place but here.
Oh, but what about Pugsy?
I think you should call it a night. Start your search again in the morning.
Very well.
I'm headed to the Twisted Dinghy anyway. I'll walk you up. Come on.
Thanks, Bert.
Yeah, well, you all be careful on your way home, all right? Stay in the light.
Ooh, spooky. The story of the Alpucra makes me want to eat nothing but salty meat. Could that be what was hiding in the ship's cargo, or could it be something even worse? It's the next day in Broken, and strange things have started happening all over town. Maybe Bert can find out more information over at Brooks Books and Other Things. This is a delicious latte, Mark.
Thank you. This is everything I could find in the back room that might have anything to do with monsters, creatures, beasts. I've got a book here that an anthropologist wrote back in the 30s on Athabascan myths, some of the usual suspects about Celtic folklore, and Burnside's Guide to Irish Spirituality.
Well, it's a start. I've been hearing strange things happening all over town.
Yeah. This reminds me of that time back in 78. Remember 78?
Oh, how could I forget 78? How could anyone possibly forget 78?
Well, I was a kid back then, but there were those 2 weeks when everyone seemed scared stiff. Strange stuff was happening. Windows broken, trash cans knocked over.
You've probably seen plenty of strange things out in the woods, haven't you, Mark?
Oh, sure. Last time I went camping over by Mosquito Lake, there was this couple of squirrels chattering up a storm like...
That's not what I'm talking about, Mark. I'm talking about your other experiences in the woods.
Well, I never did catch a glimpse of the Wendigo, but I came close.
Mark, let's not beat around the bush. I know there's something special about you. On your mother's side. Don't you think it's time that you confided in someone?
Good morning, Mark.
Yep.
Bert.
Oh, good morning, Annika.
What can I help you with?
Well, I was looking for a book on strange occurrences and very bizarre things that happen.
Oh, have you been hearing the rumors too?
Mark, my underwear was taken today.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you if we were looking for just strange things in general or...
Yes, it's very weird. It's scary. I feel very strangely violated and curious at the same time. I knew you'd be the kind of man who would want to help a woman find her underwear.
I heard an old story the other day that you shouldn't drink from the kettle in a hotel because people boil their underwear in it.
I've never heard that.
Yes. And of course, none of us are living in a hotel, so it may not be relevant at all, but I thought I would mention it in the spirit of sharing.
Well, I wasn't going to say, but now that you've mentioned it, another thing has happened, and it's really weird, really, really, really weird, and okay, here it is. I also saw my underwear was being dragged through the street. I saw it disappear into an alley. It was like it was walking on its own.
Well, that's something I've never seen.
I know. I wasn't going to share that part, but after the story with the kettle, I thought I should. Father Francis told me earlier that he saw some strange scratches on the door of the Chernigosk, and I overheard Kitty saying she's so worried that she's going to carry 2 guns with her everywhere today instead of just 1.
I think there is something really strange happening here.
I think there's something sort of weird, beastie thing running around the town, doing strange things to all of us.
The Broken Beast.
So, Mark, do you have a book that might help me? That might help us all catch this beast?
I've brought out what books I have on native mythology. They've got a fair number of beasts. Celtic mythology.
I'm going to need to read all of those books immediately, Mark.
All right, Annika. Why don't you take these with you? Maybe you can let us all know what you find out.
Thank you so much. I'll get right to it. This is all just so terrifying.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Mark, it occurs to me that you loan more books than you actually sell.
Well, what with the oil revenue we all get a share of, I can be a little generous.
Well, I suppose I'd better get back down to my shack. I'm working on a caricature for Brick.
Another one?
Well, in this one, he asked me to draw him in split screen of him as both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
That sounds about right.
You're listening to Broken Alaska, radio's only improvised ongoing drama series on Space 101.1 FM. Visit us on Facebook at Broken AK and let the station know what you think of the show at space101fm.org. Back in Broken, it's been a strange day. Garbage cans have mysteriously fallen over. People have set the table for lunch only to turn around and find that the food has disappeared, and everyone is getting nervous. Could it be the broken beast? Carlos and Rose are at Rose's produce stand discussing it now.
Another latte, Carlos.
Oh, I love your lattes, Rose. Don't tell Mark, but I think you make the best lattes in all of Broken Alaska.
Oh, thank you. Well, don't tell Mark I said this, but I agree. I know I felt kind of nervous opening a coffee stand right across the street from his own, but God, I just don't like the way he pours. It's just not frothy enough. I don't know. My time in California really taught me one thing, and that's how to make a really good cup of coffee. And I gotta say, I think they're a little bit better than Mark's.
Well, I like the way you put a little bit of Ethiopian coffee in your espresso because there's a little hint of lemon. It's very nice.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, my friend.
Oh, I like it very much.
Hey, what do you think about all these rumors flying around town? People seem really nervous.
Well, I talked to Bert this morning. He told me of this story about some anorexic Welsh beast. But, in Latin America, we have our own strange creature, El Chupacabra.
El choo-choo.
El Chupacabra is a terrible creature. It's got spines down its back. It smells of death and raw meat.
Ugh.
It's known as a vampire because it can suck the blood out of its victim and leave nothing but a dried shell.
Oh.
Yes, it's very, very strong.
Oh, so it sucks the blood out of humans like a vampire? Have you seen this happen?
Well, usually it sucks the blood out of goats, but it's still very scary.
Ugh, it is you.
Oh, hello, Louise.
Oh, don't you hello me, Rose. I know that you are behind all of this trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You pretend to be some nice produce lady, but I know the truth. All you produce ladies are the same. Nothing but trouble. And now you bring this beast to town and all is lost.
Wait. Are you accusing me of purposefully bringing something bad to town?
You could bring anything up here in those produce boxes and no one would ever suspect you. But I know the truth. I know what you really are.
Well, Luis, wait a minute. Rose is a fine citizen of the town. People love her and her produce stand and her coffee. She has a lot of friends here.
Oh, really? You think she is so great? I bought green beans from her last week and she told me they were fresh. Fresh. I paid $5 for an avocado last month and when I opened it, it was brown. Brown, Carlos.
Louise, look, that's the great mystery of produce. No one knows when it's ripe.
You should know. You claim to know.
Okay, look, I'm sorry you feel this way, but I don't want hard feelings about this. Can I offer you a cup of coffee or something? Louise?
Coffee? Ha! You should be hung by the rafters for even calling this stuff coffee. What's next? Will you force me one of your nasty croissants? Too? You Americans. That is a crime. And now your broken beast is out there terrorizing the town.
Look, Louise, I don't know what you're talking about, but I certainly was not responsible for bringing a beast into Broken Alaska. If anything, I do nothing but bring beautiful produce into this town, something I have to say that you have been lacking for years.
Well, Luis, except for the brown aguacate, have you seen anything strange?
Oui, I was getting ready for lunch. I had just sliced a beautiful tomato. One was the perfect firmness and it smelled so good and so fresh. And I went outside for a moment to pick some herbs from my backyard and when I came back, my tomato was gone.
No.
It is the broken beast and I know she brought it here.
I most certainly did not.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, what was that sound?
I've never heard that before.
Carlos, what was that?
No say.
Gosh, maybe there is something to this broken beast business. Maybe it's time for a coffee break at my house with the doors locked tight. Come on, let's go.
That sounds good to
Let's
me.
go.
I'm not sure I like where this is going. Heather O'Hearn calls an emergency town meeting to talk about the fear rippling through Broken. You can all continue to listen if you want to, but I'm going to hunker down here at the radio station with the lights on and the doors locked.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for coming. I know this is a very troubling time for us here in Broken, and as the official leader of the town council, I feel it is necessary we take a direction to get this horrible creature out of town. You all had a lot of great ideas, and I think we need to try to focus on a strategy.
I think we should at least think of fumigating, you know? Maybe set off some roach bombs or something.
I've been doing a lot of research from all the books that I got from Mark, and we have many, many options in order to deal with this in a very effective way. From the scientific data I've gathered, it looks like we'll need wooden crosses, holy water, and bits of cloth from a virgin's wedding dress. But I'm not sure where the silver bullets are going to come from.
I think we should set a trap. Who will be the bait?
Okay, Murph. I think that we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's think this through. A trap. It needs to be big enough to catch this big, huge monster and...
We need to throw all the boxes of produce into the sea. This is Rose's fault.
If I may,
To me once.
I think we should all be calm because none of us have actually seen the beast, so we don't know exactly what it is, and we don't know whether we can trap it or how to kill it.
Well, if we get the salty meat and put that in the trap...
The bear trap.
Wait a second here. We don't know what we're dealing with. So if we set a big trap and it's a little thing that gets through the big trap, we're in trouble. So I think we should fumigate.
Yes, let's fumigate.
Just make smoke and smoke fighting going out where it went.
All right. I know Bert said to remain calm, but we got some really good ideas going here. Come on now.
I think fumigation, and we need stakes. We need stakes in its heart, so it's not just trapped. And we need fire.
Why don't we just burn the town down?
We'll get the holy water.
No, I was joking. We can't burn the town down.
Okay, yeah, and we're gonna need to light a fire. Fire is always good for scaring things. That's what I learned in all these books. And awesome noise. We've got to make a lot of noise for this, and we've got to just destroy it.
This all started with Rose's produce. This all started down at the docks. Bill said it was the cargo.
Organic greens finished rolling.
We know what we have to do. We have to burn down the produce stand.
Burn it.
Torch the produce stand and all the boxes and kill the beast.
Kill the beast.
Just burn the beast and burn it down. I don't
Fire will
like
make it holy and pure. Kill the beast. Kill the beast.
Get it dead.
Well, one thing history has shown is that an angry, torch-wielding mob is never a good idea. But the people of Broken have never been good at learning from history. Rose rushes down to the produce stand through the dark, foggy night, determined to defend her livelihood at all cost. Bert struggles to find a way to calm down the crowd, and we're about to see what happens with the broken beast.
Kill the beast.
Stop! Okay, everybody stop. Why are you trashing my produce stand?
We know you've been hiding the beast.
It's been hiding in your food, Rose. We know it. Burn it down for the love of Broken. Kill the beast.
No.
I got some traps.
Look, stop. Okay, everybody stop. You're knocking over half my stuff. Look, this is good food. Heather, get a hold of yourself.
Here, use these potatoes. This is the bait we need because this is where it all started.
Okay, Annika, you need to calm down. No. Louise, look, you don't have to like my croissants, but you do not just get to come up here and trash my place. Heather, what about the asparagus I gave you this morning? It was beautiful and perfect, and now it's all smashed on the floor.
Rose, it's all about the asparagus. The beast has been hiding in the asparagus. We must set the trap and kill the beast.
No, everyone calm down.
Kill the beast.
Look, we don't even know what this beast looks like. Bert, help me out here. Calm these people down. We don't even know what it is. We don't know how to kill it. It certainly isn't in my produce stand.
We know it eats asparagus.
Well, I eat asparagus, but you don't want to kill me, do you?
I was thinking about it.
Oh, of course not, Bert. We need to set a trap and get rid of this beast once and for all.
Just a minute. You're going about this all the wrong way. Wait, what was that?
And look, over there, in the shadows.
Oh my God, what is it? Okay, everybody get down.
Oh my God.
Get down. Hide behind these boxes. Everybody get down.
It's coming out of the
Oh
alley
my God.
there behind the dumpster.
Wait.
Save us!
Hey, hold on. Shh, 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 shh. I think I can see it. It looks like it's a dog. You guys, it's just a dog.
It's Pugsy! I've been looking for that little pup everywhere. Come here, boy.
No, Denise. You know we don't have any dogs here in Broken. We haven't since...
Since 1904, when that last mushing team was taking a Russian Orthodox priest down the Yukon Trail. The lead dog went crazy and led the team off the trail and into a hot spring that was buried beneath the ice just north of Broken. The priest's last words as he sank into the spring were, "Dogs. I always hated dogs."
Well, yes, but surely...
Well, the bishop at the time cursed the town of Broken and said, "No dog shall ever abide in this town again." And no dog ever has.
Oh, but look at him. He's just so small and so cute.
Yeah, but there is something a little different about this one. I don't know. I'm sensing something just a little bit off.
Mark, what are we going to do about this dog?
Well, we're not a parish of the Russian Orthodox Church anymore. Maybe it's time to let go of the old law and see how it goes.
Wait, are you seriously saying there have been no dogs in Broken Alaska since 1904?
That's right.
Oh, please. Please just let me keep him. Look at him. He wants to stay. You can see it in his eyes.
Well, I guess he's sort of cute in that weird, ugly way. All right. As head of the town council of Broken Alaska, I think we should give Pugsy a chance.
And you were all ready to burn down the produce stand. Louise? Louise, everyone else has put their torches down.
I prefer to keep mine lit, just in case, Rose.
All right. Well, now that we've found out it was Pugsy all along, let's all head up to the Twisted Dinghy. I'll get the girls going and we can cook up some veggie burgers and hot dogs. And we can celebrate Rose's produce stand not getting torched tonight.
I was prepared to donate my wedding dress to the trap.
After the initial giddiness over the town's first dog in over a century, cooler heads are given pause. Mark pulls Bert aside as the party at the Twisted Dinghy is drawing to a close.
Well, looks like everyone had a pretty good time.
Yeah, I guess they needed to let off some steam after all the stress and fears of the last couple days.
So, what do you think about this Pugsy, if that is his real name?
Well, to be honest, he doesn't look like much, but having him here in the town could open a whole new can of worms. You know how your mother feels about dogs.
Yes, I do. Fortunately, she doesn't come into town very often, but she knows that dogs are a bad, bad omen. They have been for decades.
You know, it's just my feeling, Mark. But sometimes evil wears the face of a cute little pup. I worry that we may have rushed to judgment in letting Denise adopt this dog.
I agree. You know, I've been out in the woods. Sometimes it's not the bears. Sometimes it's not the moose. Sometimes it's not the real vicious animals you have to worry about. Sometimes it's the innocent-looking ones that get you into trouble. I think we might have just let our guard down a bit too far. She was just so enamored with him, though. It was hard to tell her no.
Mark, I know your mother has certain gifts when it comes to the wild. Now, hold on. You don't have to tell me everything just now, if you don't want to. But I'm not blind. I know you've inherited some of those otherworldly gifts from her.
Yes, I have.
All right, Mark, so then tell me, what do your instincts tell you about this Pugsy?
They tell me to stand and watch. They tell me to be careful. There is a strange red light behind that squashed nose and those demented little eyes.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Broken Alaska. It was produced at the studios of Space 101.1 FM and starred Charney Rose D'Andrea as Denise, Michael Crowley as Bill, Mark, and Murph, Carrie Aguila as Miss Julie and Rose, Lisa Kaufman as Louise, Mike Fuller as Bert, Carlos, and the announcer, Julie Bragg as Heather, Carol Sparrow as Joey, and Taylor Edwards as Annika. It was directed and edited by Carrie Aguila, from an idea by Carrie Aguila, sound design by Mike Fuller, and music by Audionautics.com. You can download all past episodes of Broken Alaska for free from iTunes, and please leave us a review. We'd tell you what's coming up next time, but since it's improvised, you'll know as soon as we do.
Okay, bye, my sweet little Pugsy. Be a good boy while Mommy's gone, okay? And I'll bring you back some food. Oh, Pugsy, I just love you.
My name's not Pugsy. Mommy.